Hi, and welcome to the A-List on HUR at Home. I'm Angela Stribling. I know you normally see Autumn Joi, who is my co-host, but you know what? She's taken the night off, and so we brought someone who we know you already love. You periodically get a chance to hear her on the middays with your favorite person, Autumn Joi. Well, tonight she's all ours. Please welcome AURN White House correspondent and friend to WHUR. Hi! Oh my gosh, Ebony McMorris, I'm finally seeing you again. It's been years.
It has, Angela. I'm so happy to be here. Like, I just love you. And I think we just all are so in love with your voice. Can I tell you?
You're
Your
just
voice
making me
in this,
smile.
do you have insurance on it? Like Mariah put insurance on her legs. Just let me know.
I love it.
Right.
Let me think about that. Well, you know what? We love and appreciate what you do too. I mean, being an African American female as a White House correspondent is huge. It's a pleasure to see you whenever I get a chance to see you and hear you doing what you do. And let's talk about that. Just, this is Women's, International
Women's
Women's
History Month.
Month. Yes.
Yeah.
And, still here we are, 2022. The disparities in the wages still exist.
At a deepening level, right, Angela?
Yeah.
It's not even, and I'm glad you mentioned that because, and Autumn and I were just talking about this. When you look at the numbers, it's 83 cents on a dollar for all women, right? But then when you factor in Black women in particular and you
Yeah.
drill down, it's 63 cents on the dollar.
Oh,
It's a
doing the
penny
same,
difference than the year before.
doing the same job. Doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter. And so it is it's heart-wrenching because Instagram can show you one picture, right? It looks like everybody's getting money. Everybody's doing their thing. Everybody's leveling up. But when we really look at the everyday Black woman, kids, we say 9 to 5, but people are working like 9 to whenever, right?
Till they go to sleep. Yeah,
Till you go to
exactly.
sleep, right? You ever seen that meme? I'm working, and when I'm
Pretty
not
much.
working, and it is hard. And even when we move up the ladder, you and I know, even in careers that seem very glamorous, it's still a lot of work sometimes that we have to do, even to equal up to our male counterparts.
Yeah.
That's not a woman problem. That's an American problem.
Yeah, it really is. And I know you've seen this. We've all seen it. And uh, I don't even know what to say about Miss Kim Kardashian.
Girl.
The nerve, just pretty much calling women who don't have the luck and the resources that she has
Can we talk
lazy.
about her come up?
Come on.
Can we talk about her come up? How did you even get what you have? Actually, they should have, and I'm not necessarily a fan, but they should have just kept the interview on the mama. Because that's really who's been the puppet behind this. But you had money.
Yeah.
And
So
we
for
saw
those who we saw that, so for those who didn't see it, it went viral. So most people saw this. Kim Kardashian is, on her little soapbox, just basically saying you can have anything you want if you stop being lazy. Just get up earlier and work harder and just all of these insensitive things. While Ebony, as you just pointed out, I mean, come on, let's be real. If you're going to go on a rant like this, talk about how you really have access to what you have access to.
and
Why are you famous anyway?
Let's talk about the track. Let's talk about how you love. Let's look at your resume, and then you got your sister in the back saying, "Yeah, it's hard to find people who work hard." Let me tell you something. If a few hours were the difference between me and a million, you don't think people? It is a slap in the face to people who work hard, who stay late, who get up early, who still their heads are hitting that glass ceiling over and over again. It is a slap in the face to those kind of women. And it just, with all the good that you seem to try to do, we've seen what she tried to do in the criminal justice system, and then you come back, that makes me question the women that you've been speaking to, because I know they probably have some of the same stories in life. Were you listening to them? Were you seeing how hard that they work to get where they are, and they still are having these types of issues? What?
So, Ebony, I'm wondering, do you think maybe it was a lapse in judgment that she was just feeling herself that day. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it.
Yes, you do, Angela. When people show you who they are,
Believe them. Oh my gosh.
yes, you do. You know.
It's a shame. And like you said, I like some of the things that she's done, but then it makes you think, is she just doing this to, maybe she's got political aspirations, she's gotten some people out of jail and things like
Well,
that.
and there were two sisters behind that too. So we can't even, let's be real about
Yes.
that. There were two sisters behind that whole push. And if your aspirations are that, and you want to come back to this community, statements like that are insensitive. And it feels like then I can't connect, that you don't see me, that you think the whole problem to the Black community is
we're lazy.
Even though those aren't the words that you use, you might have well have said that if that's what you think. And here's the funny thing, for her to even say that, let's just take women in general. When you look at Hollywood, and you look at all of the women in Hollywood who have worked hard and still talk about how they have to beg to get what they need in the roles that they like, even the industry that you're in, it's almost like you're ignorant of that if that's what you think the problem is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well,
I digress.
Bye-bye, Kim. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's enough.
No,
well, you have to know for me too. But
I feel
on
like
another subject.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Karma is real. And so is God.
Yeah.
So, we all lost one of our treasures. I love Tracy Braxton. I had an opportunity to interact. The fact that she's local and had her on Pillow Talk, she and her husband a few times. I won't say that we were the type of friends who would call each other on the phone, but whenever we saw each other, it was all love. And I think everybody, whoever was in her presence, feels the same way.
Everybody.
Right? Mm.
Like, so at the time, I remember when I was working at a different station at the time, and she would come, I think I was working at Radio 1 at the time, seeing her face, she was like one of the most non-celebrity celebrities.
Yeah. Yeah.
She felt like sis, auntie, cousin.
Somebody you've known forever.
That you've known forever. She would call you out. She would hug you.
Yeah.
She was just that type of person. And to run across that in this industry is rare. And like, I just loved her whole persona. Even watching her when they had the reality show,
Oh yeah,
like she just kept it real.
Yeah,
and
all the
you
time.
can see yourself. I don't want to work out either. You know what I mean? Like she was just,
right.
She was just hilarious. And so, and my heart goes out to her mother.
Yeah.
For the job that she has done, and give it up for, during Women's History Month, Black mamas who have raised phenomenal children and
how about that?
Created these types of platforms, right? Look, we were just talking about the Kardashians.
Right. This is completely.
But just look at this, right? Let's look at this mother and what she has created. And so I know we're like, oh, Tracy Braxton, that's her baby. And so my heart and my prayers go out to her and her family.
The entire family.
The entire family. For that link that they may feel like is gone. But, I think I posted, she had sang a song, Heaven Putting Up a Rainbow. And I just feel like, God, she is like a rainbow. Like she is like
That's
no
beautiful.
hurt, no pain, no suffering, but it's still hard. And I just, it's loss is hard, but it makes you also appreciate life, and value the time that you have, because you don't know what your number is.
You really don't. And, this pandemic, if anything positive came out of that, it's letting us know that. It doesn't matter, and like in Tracy's case, age doesn't necessarily matter. Nothing matters. When it's your time, you go.
So you gotta live your life.
You've got to live your life. And you brought the post by Tawanda, her baby sister. You brought that on my radar, and that was just so sweet and heartfelt. Just I don't ever want to know what it's like to lose a sibling, but my heart goes out to the sisters as well as the mother. Yeah,
the sister is the mother. Her mom also I didn't get a chance to read it, but her mom also put out a letter to her baby, and how much she brought to this world. So I just, again, to the Braxton family, and she's like homegrown. You know what I mean? Like she's
Yeah.
so DMV. She is really,
She's
you know,
I mean, oh, I love her so much. I'm gonna miss her, but I'll never forget her. I will
no.
never forget Tracy Braxton. And on a lighter note, oh my gosh, what was the name of the show? The Best Man, the movie.
Honey,
The series is coming out. I mean, that made my whole day.
whew, that was a whole movement, like a whole culture. Like
Yes.
that's man. And I don't even remember how many years it was between the first and second.
Didn't matter. I was there as soon as
I
it
was
came out.
so ready. It was like Star Wars for me. It was like it was
All
it was
the
one of those movies that
chocolate.
like start all that all
All
that.
that chocolate. But and also the women kind of feel like they could easily be one of your best girlfriends.
Let
It
me
was
tell
just
you.
so relatable and so real.
Are you like me where when the movie came out, that's why I was so excited about the series. I was with some college friends and I was picking out like who was that person? Who
Yeah.
was that I was
Oh, absolutely. We all probably did that because you can identify with every character. It
Angela,
was
which
so
character are you?
I could be Nia Long. I don't know. How about
We won't
you?
tell. We won't tell.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Nia was my favorite though, because that slap in the face when she said, I don't want to hear no more about no rice and beans or rice and beans.
Right. Oh my God.
I think we were all practicing like that open hand.
Yes.
But the fashion, the
Oh my God.
success, the camaraderie. Oh my
That was
God.
amazing. I cannot wait for the
The
series.
series. I
Mm.
hope it is good as, so they have the new Bel Air series,
Mm.
which was brilliant. Doing the Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and now they have the new Bel Air
Yeah,
series.
which I have not seen it. I have not seen it yet. I know.
I can't even.
I'm going to circle back.
ruin it.
I'm going to watch it and I'll circle back to you.
It's so good and so brilliant. So I'm hoping that the writing behind this, and I know it will be, is
Yeah.
going to be brilliant. But a series like
Ah. And Malcolm Lee, Spike Lee's nephew, is the director, and he's
brilliant.
on it. He's brilliant. Yeah, I can't wait for
It
that.
warms my heart in a time of
We
pandemic.
need it.
Pandemic,
We need
whatever.
this.
I need something else. I need this. Thank you.
We need this. Yeah, thank you, Malcolm. And so all right, Ebony, I know I've taken you off of your normal hard news
I need
path.
it.
But I love this. I love that, chit chat. That's what Autumn and I do all day long. We talk about what's
I
going
watch.
on and oh good. Thank you. Well, but to your, to what you do, just a little bit of hard news before I let you go. This whole, war in Ukraine and how it impacts Americans, because it's easy to say, Russia, Ukraine, it's over there and it doesn't affect us at all. But it
It
does.
directly affects us on so many ways. Economically, it's affecting us. Look, people aren't trying, like they are really limiting where they go and what they do because gas prices really are now too damn high.
Oh my goodness. I'm looking twice like, are you sure? You want to double check and try to find a cheaper one that is, I haven't
I
found
literally
it.
pulled that up. I looked up cheapest. No,
Good.
I
You
looked up
kind of
cheapest
have
grocery.
to.
I looked up cheapest gas, and then I went grocery shopping yesterday, and the price was like 80 something, and I was like, "But it's like 6 things in a cart. What did we do? Like, what is going on?"
It's because that's another thing. You're right. The groceries.
The groceries
You
are
see
going
it?
up.
Yeah.
What should make people understand that some have already known. This is a global economy.
Yes.
So you need to pay attention to what's going on in Russia. You need to understand what they export. You need to understand what happens when there's a decline in corn or in wheat, or where the U.S. is now, what they're going to tap into, or what that does to other, because it affects our economy. We're already looking to see how it's going to affect travel, right?
Yeah.
And Putin is hunkering down. I'm like, I don't know if he's going down with the ship. What is going to happen? But Zelensky, Ukrainian president today giving a cry to President Biden saying, look, you are the leader of the nation. We need you to be the leader of the world. And that means a leader of peace. So on one hand, we see that. But then there's another, because we always as African Americans have to see a different lens. And that is, we also see the treatment, the mistreatment, the racism that has been leveled at Afro-Ukrainians,
That's right.
African immigrants, even Vietnamese, and other cultures. During the same time, I was talking to a friend and who he runs I Love Black People. He just came back from Poland. He said, Ebony, how in the world, in the midst of a war, racism really has time to lift its ugly head? But it has.
Yeah.
And you even have places where they're quarantining Black people, melanated people. We saw them pushing them back so they can't get on trains. He said, Ebony, some of them are running through the forest trying to find safe routes because they're scared of being harmed on their way to flee.
It's unbelievable, but it's real.
It is. It's real. And that's that double lens that we always have to look at. And so what I want people to do is to expand globally. Mm-hmm. In their business, in their thinking, in their relationships, in what they read as well, and understand how connected this world is. And so I don't want to, you often do declarations. I want to participate in those things globally that can add to the legacy that I'm trying to build for my family. I also want to look out for those globally, especially melanated people all over this world, and see how even my investment in them can add to wealth and legacy for all of us.
You see, I'm all choked up.
It is.
My allergies.
No.
My gosh.
It's hard to look at this and not. So I'll say this. Today, when Zelensky was giving a speech before Congress, he said, we want to form the U-24, a new union that he wants to try to end this in 24 hours. He's asking for the U.S. to supply, to enforce a military no-fly zone, which the U.S. is not going to do because they say it's going to escalate it. But he's also asked for more military aircraft and things like that. But in the speech he said, and I caught this, he said, I have a need. And then he basically said, and that means it should invoke the same thing in Americans as I have a dream.
Wait a minute.
I had to go.
Hold on now.
We're not going to go too deep, Angela. We're not going to go too deep in it.
What?
I said, well, King, you're showing up everywhere. But he didn't say his name, but we know. But he was comparing it to
I have a dream
strength of that statement. And I'm like, we are a bad people. Like, we are awesome, because any major movement, I feel like, is always pulling from movements that we have.
Yeah.
We have begun. And then he said at the end, he said that this new union, this new group, would also help with the humanitarian assistance for other countries. And I'm all for that. But I want to make sure that assistance goes to Egypt, goes to people that we saw in that. You know what I mean? In Haiti, right? Yeah. In Brazil. America, we got to shift. And I'm not saying not help, because you cannot help but look at what's happening in Ukraine and have compassion. But on the other hand, I also have to look and see what's happening to the detriment of our people.
Exactly. It's hard to ignore. You can't. And that brings me to a question for you as an African American woman covering the White House. Just the uniqueness of that. Do you find that you have to fight a little bit more while you're in that position?
I think, well, yes, absolutely. And the fight sometimes comes in, how we just said that people need to understand that we live in a global environment, in a global world. People also have to understand that what happens in this community affects all of us.
Right.
We saw that in the elections, right? Because who is it that got this president over the line?
Hello.
and Black women really in particular,
Exactly.
right? So we're seeing what's happening. We saw what happened in the primaries in Texas. So first of all, we have voter disenfranchisement happening all over. And just with this one in Texas, they're already seeing all these. I think Attorney Crump said that mail-in ballots being denied have increased fivefold.
Wow.
So you're putting restrictions. If we were not that powerful of a people, you wouldn't be spending so much time to shut down everything that we do, from that to creating this myth on CRT to everything.
Yeah,
and so
we know that.
So what my call is not just letting everybody else know that, but also reinforcing it in our people. We are an amazing body of people.
How about that? How about that?
From
Ebony.
agriculture to engineering to journalism, we are a bad people. They would not be fighting us so hard if we have the ability to shift cultures and businesses. When we get in something, everything shifts. So there's always a push to keep us back. And so
that's right.
I feel empowered in this room.
Yeah.
Right? And so I don't take it as, oh, I'm in the room. That doesn't mean anything, honestly. There are a lot of networks in that room. The thing at the end of the day for all of us is, am I having an impact? And so my motto when I go in is, when I go in, we go in. And I got mothers and fathers and ancestors who are letting me know, you didn't do this. You didn't get here by yourself. First of all, you probably are the product of prayers from somebody who was in a field slaving away from you, who didn't see it, and you're the manifestation of it. So now the work that I do and the prayers that I lay is for somebody else. That whole self-made thing is a myth. I'm the product of that.
I love that. Oh my gosh, Ebony. I am so happy that you're here, sis. And your words, listen, next time you come, I'm going to bring out even more. I love that. And those are inspiring words that we all need to remember. That is so true. I mean, it's true for me. It's true for all of us. And we have to remember, and especially times like now, this is Women's History Month. And so we need to take this with us for all 12 of the months, but now especially. So thank you for saying it. Thank you for being here, being my lovely, brilliant co-host. I love what you brought to it. I do too. But she'll be back next week. Next time you come, she'll be here.
I always want to
sing that into existence.
Let's manifest, right?
Yes.
I always want to sing Anita Baker, You Bring Me Joy every time I see her, but I haven't, I can't, I don't want to do it. I don't
do it.
That's not my lane.
Love it. Well, on behalf of my normal co-host, Autumn Joi, I want to thank you so much for just joining us. And for everyone who is watching, make sure you support Ebony McMorris. Tell everyone how they can follow you on social media.
Absolutely. Across social media, I'm an Ebony McMorris, and you can catch me on Mondays with my girl Autumn Joi at 2:30, and then every Friday at 10 a.m. This is new, Angela. I host a live IG with a sister, Renita Young, at Bloomberg Radio, and it's called Business for the Culture. And we're trying to help us all level up. We're bringing on some serious people that will tell you like the ABCs to wealth.
We need that. Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. So make sure you follow Ebony and everything that she's doing. Thank you for watching the A-List. Follow at WHUR-FM, and make sure you tune in right here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. as I go one-on-one with Rotimi. I love his music, and I love, yep, that's him from Power. We're going to be talking. So Ebony, I hope you check it out as well.
Always. I'm following you, Angela.
Oh, thank you. Follow me at Angela Stribling on all platforms, and keep listening to your #1 radio station, 96.3 WHUR. Have a good night. Thanks again, Ebony. Love you, sis. Mwah.